Benissimo, allora, buongiorno a tutti quanti, benvenuti al nuovo webinar di Ocrim alla fine delle vacanze
Once
estive.
again, good afternoon, everyone. Now, this is our first webinar after the summer break. Okay, then, so once again, we are back online with you, so as to communicate with our customers around the world. You know, Ocrim has, started webinars almost 1 year ago, so that once again, we can, share with you news, new information, novelties, new developments from the company. So once again, this is the beginning of the, this is not a new year, of course, but this is the fall season. We are back once again after the summer break. It's an interesting webinar. We will listen to our speaker in a minute. My name is Anna Buffa. I am a food entertainer. Today, I'm taking care of the management of this webinar. I've been in this industry for some years. And again, I will moderate this webinar today. The duration is around 45 minutes. And then at the end of the webinar, we will select some questions that you may want to send us. Now, if you are asking, let's say, short answers, of course, we will do this at the end of the presentation. If you have complex, longer technical questions, please send an email to conferenceroom@ocrim.com. You will then receive, detailed answers. So let me introduce today's speaker. Today we have the Sales and Marketing Manager in Ocrim, Stefano Mazzini. Stefano joined Ocrim back in 1991, 30 years ago. He started in the purchasing department and then he moved to sales. So first Italy and then international markets, for example, the English-speaking African markets. Under the control of the Antolini family, he became sales manager and marketing manager as well. And then he started managing the company towards new markets. He's also put together and planned plenty of events and new activities, allowing Ocrim to enjoy the current success. So one of the events that we would like to repeat next year is Grano Farina End, so wheat flour end, which is basically a company tour. Okay, then, this is it. Let me now give the floor to Stefano Mazzini. I'll be back at the end of the webinar for the Q&A management. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. Anna, thank you so much for your presentation. Now, we would like to thank you for two things especially. The first one, you reminded me that I'm only 30 years old, okay? So I joined the company 30 years ago when I was a baby. And second thing, our open day, so our great event, and we missed it a lot. So hopefully it will be back next year. Of course, the problem was COVID. So once again, 2 year, stop. I hope we can, organize it again next year because it's such an important event, highly appreciated by our customers all around the world. Anyway, let me tell you what I'm going to walk you through today. In the past weeks, you must have seen, some previews in our social networks. Of course, I'm talking about the Superior. Now, as you can see here in the slide, now Superior is the name of our mill, well, one of our mills. So before telling you what the Superior is, allow me about 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds to tell you who Ocrim is. Now, of course, I know you know what Ocrim does. Of course, you are familiar with the company and the company's products, but all what we do, which is what you see in the slide, is directly, linked to what I'm going to show you. So there's a strong connection between this and what I will say. So we are, let's say, in the wheat milling business together with maize, feed mills, starch plants, cereal storage plants. So we do this with the GSI, so another company, flour blending systems, and of course, I'm sure you must have heard about this. So there was a webinar some months ago held by Mr. Watto. We have several handling systems, but also end-of-line systems. There will be another webinar about this in the future. Electrical installation, automation. Then we also have stone milling systems. There was a webinar some months ago about this by Mr. Stijuni and Mr. Montanari. We also have, tool machines. We have, grinding machines, some plastic machines. And last but not least, the projects that I manage myself. So this is what we've been doing since 1960, more or less. Okay, then let me now talk about Superior. Now, Superior as a mill was created around, in the 1950s. So the reason was rebuilding, re-engineering all the mills that had been totally or partially destroyed by the bombings in the Second World War. Now, Ocrim used to receive at that time plenty of requests from all over the world. Of course, Italy first, followed by the rest of the countries and the world. People wanted to have machines and mills very quickly because, of course, the world badly needed to give food to the population. Well, especially Italy, there was heavily involved and damaged in the Second World War. Now, Ocrim created the Superior. This is the name of the project. You can see this picture from the 1950s. You can see it's a Superior for one of the trade fairs we held here in Cremona, in one of the main squares of the city. So once again, we created different Superior machines, different capacitors for wheat and maize. And now, it goes without saying that the capacity changed depending on the number of machines required. And what was very special here is that you can see here we have basically two different floors. Maybe the only weakness, if you will, is that, well, of course, the delivery times were short, installation time was short. Maybe the only weakness was the energy consumption. Because if you make a comparison with a traditional multi-story mill, of course, it was impossible to, let's say, to take advantage of the fall and of the product. So, of course, it took plenty of energy to operate it. But, at that time, that was not an issue, because energy efficiency was not an issue, just like it is today. The project lasted around 20 years. It was a huge success for Ocrim because, once again, it was for the wheat industry, but the product was highly demanded by Central and Southern American countries. And I know the sub-superiors are still being operated in those countries. So at the end of that epoch, Ocrim stepped into, let's say, the milling industry, and then in the 80s and 90s, we received requests for similar products, so something similar to Superior, But, those products were different, of course, because meanwhile, the world had changed. And all of this came from markets where, let's say, the government-controlled companies were replaced by privately owned organizations. Let's say that was the start of the privatization wave of the milling industry, so Northern Africa and Eastern Europe. Now, those countries wanted to make an investment. There was not much money for investing on traditional mills, so they were looking for products that were able, if you will, to really create the business. So Ocrim created this compact MCA milling unit that you can see here. There were basically 4 different systems inside which we fit, machines. There was just one single size. We made basically just one type of flour, so just one byproduct. Now, this was also quite successful, maybe not as successful as the Superior, 30 years earlier. But I have to say that we still have some units like this around the world. They're still being operated. Some customers, Ocrim customers, thanks to this milling system, were able to become bigger and bigger, and now they are, large flour producers. Of course, the market has changed. I mean, the market keeps changing. It is now remarkably different. People are asking for different products, and needs are different as well. But anyway, I have to say that today we have, plenty of mills with large capacities, but we still have, niches, market niches, they're still very strong and powerful. And of course, they require, small quantities of cereals to be processed. So once again, what they need is highly flexible mills. This is what Ocrim did to make those customers happy. Let's say we have, reused the name Superior. Now, this name and even this logo was the very first big success from Ocrim. As you can see here, Superior is back, but with a new concept, I mean, with today's technology. So I have to say that, all of these technologies, of course, are different versus those we used to use decades ago. But I have to say that this is something that we are not necessarily applying on traditional mills. Okay, you've seen the logo. It's basically, here we go. It's a cube. Thank you so much for going back. So you can see the S for Superior. The color is gold. So this is the, I think the most beautiful, most precious color, gold. We thought of a cube because, I mean, a cube is a perfect geometrical object, clear, crystal clear, very accurate, precise, very well, sort of accurate. Once again, it is like this. A cube is a cube, and it cannot be different. In the next slide, there's a rendered image showing you the Superior. This is the typical, is this the typical product? No, because there's a difference between the Superior and, if you will, let's say, accessories and machines put together, so making this sort of, fitted in unit, as we say, is very simple. Here, the concept is totally different. This is not just an assembled product. You can also have machines and accessories that may be sort of unique. So, by the way, I'm inviting you to visit, the Ocrim, milling production facility to really see what we make here. So this is the rendered image. This is Superior 2021. So this is a compact size mill. It is pre-assembled. Now, this is 100% customizable. So I will tell you what we mean by customization and what can be done in terms of customization on this mill. I think that this is one of the key strengths of this machine because, so once again, it is basically, a unique product together with top technology, which is what I mentioned before. Once again, cutting-edge technological solutions. The question is, whom is Superior for? Well, the entire agri-food business may require this machine. Let's say that we had two key targets that you can see here in the slide. Target number one, milling plant owners. So you may have also new investors. So if you want to step into the milling industry, you are a new investor. You may want to meet some specific needs, not very big capacity. You don't have, too much money for a huge investment. There are other types of, machines, which are, of course, much more expensive, and you want to step into the business. Okay, so the Superior is, of course, the right machine for new investors. As you can see here, we also sell the machine to those who already own a milling plant. So if you already have an industrial plant that you are already serving customers, maybe different industries, but also small and medium enterprises. Anyway, you already have a customer base. So the Superior was conceived in order to meet a niche customer base and small and medium producers. Just like the milling hub concept. If you've seen the presentation of the milling hub some months ago, and of course you can go to our website to enjoy it, there's an interview where we'll explain the concept of milling hub. This is basically repeatable, if you will, milling plant, but it is, specially done, specially conceived for a specific market niche. And of course, this is something that a big plant that cannot take care of. This is what the Superior is today. Basically, Superior today is 3 different milling units. Now, this is the situation so far. I'm sure there will be even more units in the future. So the first one is the typical wheat milling unit, the 50 tons per day. And then we have maize, same thing, so 50 tons per day. But we also have the third line, which is the stone milling unit. In this case, of course, I'm talking about the production of whole or partly a whole flour. In this case, the capacity is smaller, so we have 12 tons per day. Now, let me share with you a quick overview of the some of the, let's say, features of the 15 TDP wheat milling units. As for the maize, we have more or less the same solution, 50 tons per day. Stone milling, 12 tons per day. You can see that, they look different, of course, in terms of spaces, in terms of, sizes. Well, the reason is that, of course, it depends on the type of process and even the type of cereal that you want to process or to mill. Of course, you don't have exactly the same needs between wheat and corn. And then, of course, if you work with a traditional mill, the process is different. Okay, so spaces here or sizes are definitely different. Now, let me, dive a little deeper onto the benefits and the advantages of Superior. Now, I think the key benefit, I will walk you through all of them. This is just a general presentation. So we have a small investment, we have an easy management of the plant, easy installation. As I said before, the system is highly customizable, and this is the greatest strength of the machine. It is high energy efficient, but also in terms of technology. It helps you save time. Of course, we will offer training, so education to the milling plant operators. This has always been one of the key strengths for Ocrim. And then, of course, the automation that we have implemented now. This is absolutely fundamental if you really want to have, a top-level, top-notch milling plant. So let's go through every single point. A small investment, why? Well, for the reasons you can see here in the list. First and foremost, the Superior doesn't need to have the typical multi-story building, if you will. So today, you don't have to have 3, 4, 5, even more floors. No way. So today, you just have to have, an industrial shed. And inside the shed, you will, conclude the assembly of a partly pre-assembled plant. So there's no urban planning works. In many cases, this is something that you have to do in or around your industrial shed. Well, you don't need to do this. You don't have to totally reassemble the machine. I will talk about this later, but you just have, let's say, a reduced, a partly completed assembly. This means to have a faster return on investment. The first, thing that, a company thinks of, when you make an investment is, when is this investment, coming back? What about the break-even point? So this is very important. So the quicker the return on investment, the happier the customer. So once again, this is absolutely fundamental. Now, the return on investment of the Superior is really very, very, let's say, fast-paced. It doesn't take a long time. Of course, it has a small capacities, but of course, the capacity, once again, depends on the type of milling plant you have and the type of customers you need to serve. Then I've told you that the management is quite easy, very easy, I should say, because So first of all, we said it's a small, compact-sized milling plant, so it can be accommodated into, a typical, industrial shed. So the space, it can be managed with the help of just a few staff. So in terms of management of the plant, it doesn't take plenty of space and room, but the same happens for maintenance. Not just because it's small, compact size, and of course this is very important, but also for the fact that the technology will help you in terms of easy installation and easy maintenance. In terms of installation, this is also a very important point. Now, when you purchase a milling plant, of course, the easy installation is important. It is also important to have the right electronics and the right mechanical parts. But once again, I really would like to draw your attention on the so-called value of the installation. This is really, really important in terms of costs and time. So with this kind of machines, so with Superior, the value of installation or the cost of installation is dramatically cut. As you can see here, you may save up to 70% of time, but also of cost. In my opinion, we can do more than this. It can be more than 70%. And this is really easy to understand and to explain. When we ship a milling plant, we ship from 100 to 500 crates. Now, this material has to be managed, so you have to, have different floors, you have to mount or install all the contents of the crates. Well, the same happens here in-house. So we have to package the accessories and, of course, the machine. Now, this won't happen in-house, but also on-site, because when we build the machine, when we make the accessories, almost all the accessories will be installed directly into the Superior machine. So you will just receive one Superior unit. Again, this means you will save plenty of installation time. And, this translates into saving money as well. Now, on-site, I just have to make all of the connections of the blocks and the general, connections, for example, water and electricity. Then we have this very important point, which is customization. Once again, it's a crucial focal point, in my opinion. I think that something that you cannot do inside the Superior is the applied technology. The milling technology now. This cannot be changed, of course. The so-called applied technology is the real foundation, if you will, in order to have a specific mill leading to specific results. So once again, applied technology depends, if you will, on all of our expertise. More than 80 years of building and marketing machines. So just imagine how much know-how and expertise we have from our plants all around the world. So all of this has helped Ocrim grow, and of course it is still helping us make highly technological plants. So the so-called applied technology cannot be changed. There is something that we can definitely change or customize, so that your machine will be your own customized machine. Now, first and foremost, the color. So it sounds something very simple, but it is not something superficial. You can see here behind me the O's of Ocrim in red, which is our official color. But at the beginning of the presentation, or even in the brochure, you can see a different color. So the Superior logo comes in a totally different color, because of course we need to recall a concept which is totally different. Once again, the color is crucial. Every single customer wants to have a specific color or more than one color. Maybe the color of your team. Again, the color is a fundamental element when it comes to customizing of this. Of course, we also have materials. Now, as for materials, yes, we have different materials that we can use. And all of these materials, of course, do comply with food contact use. So wheat, corn, or even finished, processed products like flour. We also have the design. Now, design, this is something we are so proud of, just like many Italian companies, plenty of Italian companies we know. Um, I really like Formula One. So for me, Ferrari as a brand is absolutely stunning, unique in the world. Now, of course, we also have red as our key color. It's not exactly the same red, but once again, design, beauty, they are fundamental elements for Italians. And it is once again a fundamental element that we wanted, to offer inside, the Superior. This means that every single customer may, let's say, turn this machine into their own machine, just like a custom-made suit. Last but not least, all of the technologies we have applied will help you save on energy. So all of the technologies we have implemented and used can really help you save or cut on, let's say, energy consumption. There will be plenty of opportunities. Once again, customization can reach a top level, and again, you can personalize it depending on your needs in terms of production capacity or even the image of your company. So there are plenty of specific needs. So again, you can count on an extremely high level of customization. Now, when talking about the superior machine built in the 1950s, I mentioned, technological efficiency and especially energy efficiency. Now, back in the 1950s, the Superior used plenty of energy because we couldn't take advantage of the Hall effect. But of course, we had to remove this weakness in today's Superior because, of course, energy consumption, energy saving is fundamental today. So we have, redesigned the machine with new concepts that we already use on our traditional machines. They help us save electric energy. And I have to say that, yes, we do save on energy. For example, if you have another system with the same technology and the same capacity, with Superior, you save 20% of the energy consumption. The technologies we have applied to this machine is, of course, a cutting-edge technology. So, of course, it is, better than the previous technology. We also have another factor which is very important. I'm talking about time. I'm not talking about installation time. This is the, let's say, supply chain, if you will, of time. So the time you save to operate, the machine. Now, on the website, you can download plenty of information about this mill. So apart from the customizations and the possible options that you want to have, there will be plenty of information shared with you so that you can carry out specific actions. Before you receive the Superior. There's another crucial point. As you can see here in the slide, the shipment will be carried out at the latest 6 months from the order. Now, 6 months, this is not much. If you know our industry, you know that 6 months, well, this is an excellent, if you will, time frame because, after signing the agreement, and we have to carry out the technological study, and then we have to, measure all of the emissions, and then we have all of the orders in order to produce all the pieces. There are plenty of steps, plenty of factors, and again, this is the time required to build these machines. Now, we made some optimizations in terms of technology, in terms of the plant, the equipment. Now, this means that we've been able to say that, yes, we can do this in 6 months. So shipment will take place at the latest 6 months from the order. Once again, this is very important for your return on investment. That has to be as quick as possible. Now, this is another strength for Ocrim, and I know that we have many strengths. Again, I'm talking about training or education. So we've managed our milling technique school in 1965. So the company started training staff even before I was born. So we are so proud of this. So many customers have enjoyed this in our school or academy. I remember the open day 2 years ago, back in 2019. I remember I presented the master class with a very high level of education, a real superior education level. So thanks to what we are doing today with Building Hub, we're now able to offer top courses. At the Building Hub, of course, we will install some superior machines. And we will also teach how to use this machine. This is a new concept. It is now ready to start. Let me go back to education. So, as I said before, we started doing education in 1965. We keep updating the contents, of course, of our training courses. And we had to have training also for superior because, of course, it comes in different styles, different modules. There are many different factors we have to take into account when it comes to training and education. Once again, I think education is absolutely crucial. So if you don't train the staff, if you don't train the operators, well, the machine won't reach a maximum capacity or efficiency won't be at the best level because, of course, you need to know every single detail of the machine. Once you've been trained, of course, you can be, let's say, reskilled or even upskilled, because, of course, this is something you need in order to operate the machine correctly. Last but not least, there's a very important point. I'm talking about automation. So, as I said before, automation is an absolutely fundamental element if you really want to exploit the machine at best. There's a high level of automation. Once again, high level of automation. We are not doing too much. Okay, so there's plenty of automation, but not too much. Once again, automation or automatic systems will help operators manage, the machine at best. You can also control this with a smartphone or a tablet. So once again, this automation will help you so much. In case of need, you also count on the remote service. So once again, a 24/7 teleservice. Well. So let me now show you our own choices. I'm talking about the technology and even the personalization, the customization. There is something that, of course, you cannot see right away. So you don't see what is at the core and the heart of the machine. Of course, you see the plant, you see the technology, and you can also imagine here the customization. So we have basically 4 different versions for every kind of product, so wheat or corn or stone milling. Once again, all of this can go through plenty of changes. When I say customization, it's something absolutely unique for every single customer. So it depends, on the product you are processing. This is a choice we made. This is Passion. This is the first version. It's a special version because you can see here we have safety rails. Maybe you don't see them clearly here. But once again, this is one of the possible versions of Superior. You can see here the Ocrim red that identifies, the manufacturer. So you can see here different pieces in red. So it is easy to understand it is an Ocrim machine. You can also see this kind of wood-looking material, which is environmentally friendly. You can also see here the Superior logo. And don't forget, every single system, every Superior has a specific lighting system. This means it's basically self-enclosed, independent unit. We also have the natural version. This is the version number 2. So natural, well, this is self-explanatory. This means we have plenty of composite material, which is similar to wood. And it is full height on the short side. We also have, a closed part, an enclosed basement, if you will. The color is slightly different versus the previous version. So the color here is gold. Again, it's different from the typical, red color of the logo. On the 2 short sides, you can see the Superior logo. We also have a third version, which is the style. Let's say that this is really eye-catching, very, modern design, very sleek. So it is sort of, a fashionable style. It looks like natural. You can see here the full height side wall. So once again, this is composite material, and again, we have printed the Superior logo full height. Once again, this is really, really eye-catching. Last but not least, okay, we have the gold. So this is based, on the color of the Superior logo. So this is a mix of colors. Look at this. We have gold, but also red. I think that this blend is very beautiful to see, eye-catching once again, and the high impact as well. There is another high impact element, which is this huge, large-sized logo on the side. Now, on the other side, you won't see the Superior logo. We will have the logo of the customer. So the customer will receive an even more customized product. When I talked about customizations and colors and materials, materials are different here. I was not just saying this for the sake of it. So this is the real object. You can see a rendered image here, so a project. But anyway, this is the real look of the plant. But once again, we can't say that this is totally assembled, so it is a unique, custom-made plant. And I think, the name Superior, well, this is based on all the reasons I walked you through. This is my last point before giving the floor back to Anna. And by the way, Anna, thank you for listening to me. So this is what we did. We have created a website dedicated to Superior. It deserves, a site, a website only and exclusively dedicated to it. Of course, there's a connection to the general Ocrim website. This is the homepage.
Su internet www.ocrimsuperior.com.
So once again, if you download this material and if you click on the website, you will find information. So in the next days or so, it will be completed with plenty of new pieces of information. So once again, let me summarize the key points. So a small investment, limited investment, fast ROI, return on investment, shipping and assembly time are very short, high efficiency, energy saving, Once again, also in terms of energy consumption, we made steps forward. Low level of maintenance, advanced automation to facilitate the operation of the machine. Once again, highly customizable, and once again, last but not least, training and education. So what you find on the website, of course, is much more accurate than what I've shared with you right now. And once again, we are available here at your disposal for any kind of information. Floor goes back to Anna. Thank you, Stefano. So I'm not a specialist in milling plants, but that was really interesting for me. There are plenty of questions, so let me tell you that, of course, you will receive answers by email, okay? So just expect answers. I'm just picking some, let's say, quick questions, just to continue our webinar. So how many years of warranty? So 2 years. 2 years from commissioning. Which products can be milled? I've shown the different types of plants. So the Superior is being conceived there's a unit for wheat, soft wheat to make flours. There's another unit to process corn. And another one with stone milling. So we will be able to have different types of cereals. We can also process pulses or legumes. There's a cooperation, a partnership with Pagliarani, because of course they are the inventors, so to say, of all the pioneers of the stone milling system. So that was an extremely successful, plant. So we have exported many, many units around the world, and today we have so many customers using this system, not just wheat and corn, but also for the processing of other types of pulses. As you have seen, there's an O like Ocrim. So this O, maybe you remember the pie chart I made before, with just the 3 types of Superior, but let's say that O was only completed by 50%, okay? There are new additions, let's say. So can we mill durum wheat now? Not for the time being. It will happen. Okay, I was not supposed to reveal this information, but of course people wanted to know. It's okay, I understand. This is fair. Let's say that for the time being, we have 3 different options. Now, as for the durum wheat or many other products, you just have to wait for a while, not 1 or 2 years. So today we are launching 3 types of units, and then the new developments will come soon. You talked extensively about customization. So which type of customizations and which materials can be used for the customization of the machine? Well, as I said before, there are so many, endless opportunities. So we have just printed the leaflets and the brochure. So once again, this is the brochure I got this morning just before the presentation. I'm inviting you to log in on the website. There are so many different customizations possible in terms of style and design. We have passion, natural, and then we have the gold, and then we have style. You can personalize colors, the type of materials to be used. You may want to have special logos. For example, I have my own logos, or maybe the logos of my customer. And this is one of my, favorite needs, so to say, because it's a fashion image. So this may happen. Or once again, the end user has other, let's say, ideas or logos or, let's say, graphics needs. Also, in terms of the, let's say, engineering and the technology, well, this can also change. This has no impact, if you will, on the superiority of the machine. They don't have a negative impact on the energy consumption. I'm just telling you that every single component can be bespoke or customized. For example, using stainless steel or not. So you may want to have stainless steel for many components or for just some components, maybe on some parts of the plant, of the machine, or the accessories. Now, for example, the sieves, you can have the antimicrobial, antibacterial version. This is a product that we have first introduced 4 years ago. It is very successful around the world because, of course, it helps us to remove molds, bacteria, and viruses. So it facilitates maintenance, and of course, even the let's say downtime is reduced. This means less money, smaller costs, and then less money spent for maintenance. How many operators does the mill require? Now, I don't like to be too specific now in terms of numbers, quantities, because of course you always have to find the right balance. Now, managing the mill, well, one operator is enough. Now, of course, here in Italy, one operator may be enough. For example, here, the plant cannot be operated by one operator only because we have a national legislation in case of accident. Of course, we have to have a second operator. Okay, this is done to for safety reasons, for prevention purposes. Anyway, one or two or even up to three operators, because maybe one person takes care of the plant and the other one takes care of the customers. And then you have, maintenance activities to be carried out. Anyway, one operator is enough to operate the mill. Last question. What about the ROI, return on investment, time? Can you quantify? Well, it's impossible to give you an exact number. Okay, I think it depends on a crucial element. It depends on how many hours you operate the machine every day. I can do 50 tons in 24 hours. If I use it just 1 hour a day, of course, the return on investment time will be very long. I'm not telling you that you have to use it 24 hours, but for example, if you use it on 2 shifts, the ROI is reduced. Of course, if I use it, just 1 hour a day or 1 hour a month, well, of course, it would take, a long time to go to have return on investment. Anyway, this is something people know very well. Yes, it happens for every single purchase, every single object we purchase. Okay, then. Excellent. I think that this is it for our webinar today. Once again, there are more questions, and again, I'm sure that you will send an email to those who asked that questions. Once again, please send an email to conferenceroom@ocrim.com. Stefano, thank you so much for being exhaustive, informative. I'm inviting people to take part in the next webinars from Ocrim. Don't forget to check our social channels, including LinkedIn, for the next meetings. Okay, Stefano, thank you so much. Arrivederci. Bye-bye, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for your participation. Bye-bye.